Alright, so we got a bit of a general kind of overlook on whips a bit here. Because I know a lot of people struggle with throwing whips in this game, and it's because everyone does it wrong. Not everyone, but most people. Um, if you want to throw absolutely ridiculously large whips, this is going to be the tutorial for you. But if you have a TikTok brain and can't take in a large amount of information, uh, may as well just click off the video. But, oh, anyways, I'm going to get into it. I'm going to find a jump here on this map. It's Friends of Fistland, made by SB Suki. Alright, so we're going to kind of take a look at a normal whip that most people do. It is kind of, you just lean the bike a little bit and it stalls out right there. It's still a big whip, but it's not anything like we're going after. For reference, we'll look at it from the back here and see how there's really no upside down to it. It's just kind of a nice moto whip. That's where a lot of people stall out. I'm not sure if you can already see a difference, but this is my favorite type of whip to do. More upside down, basically 180. You bring the front end down, and boom. Look at that. Okay, so looking at this one, I'm not leaning too far over and lean kind of to the side, and you can see that I didn't do a lot of preload, and by this point, I was already turning to the side. So if you look at it slowly, this is what most people do. They kind of lean and turn and then kind of hold the sticks to the side. And it's not what you want to do. So if we look at what we're trying to accomplish here, you're going to notice a lot more leaning forward. Like I'm going to go for a backflip and a late pull to the side. And that throws you a lot more backwards and more towards the upside down that we're looking for. So what's nice about learning these types of whips is that if you know how to do it and can do it fairly well off of like bigger jumps, like that long face that I was just doing it off of, when you get to a shorter face, like that last one, you can really get it popped upside down and get it steezed out. We're going to take a look at this and analyze my controller input. So you come back into this transition of the jump and you come in, and as you can see, I start pushing forward on this stick very early because your bike compresses the suspension going up into this area. So as the suspension compresses, like right here is basically fully bottomed out, you help use that by pushing forward on the forks to create a bunch of preload. And then when you get close to the top of the lip, you basically pull all the way down and maybe a bit to the side, and that gives you a big pop. And usually what I do is when I pull down to the side, I end up actually pulling kind of more, I kind of roll the stick a little bit, as you can see. So I went down to here and then I rolled it over, and that gives kind of this movement here. And yeah, no, it's not too bad. It's just it's a lot. I find a lot of people not doing it. Um, but that's basically how to do that. And this is a Beta 19 bikes, by the way. And I use this jump specifically to show kind of because it's more of a generalized jump. Like it's more of what you'd see on an MX track. So let's look at another one. So these jumps here are a bit more poppy. They're more like the free ride jumps you'd find on this map or Deadlock or Pelster's Playground. So these ones you see me do the same thing. I preload the suspension. You don't have to do it as much on these because sometimes they'll shoot you over backwards way too far and you'll get a bunch of weird Poboso physics. Um, But this one, I barely even, you can see if we kind of look at this frame by frame. Um, I didn't do a lot of input. I just preload the suspension. I was neutral here all the way till here, and then I started pulling back and roll the stick the other way. And what that does, and you when you turn into it, makes it super steezy. Um, so on to the next one. This one is a big one. This is how you can make it kind of look like you go past 180 degrees. So same sort of thing, leaning forward, loading up the suspension. You can see the exact same movement and pop back. You can see the rider kind of jerk back there. Bam. And then the roll of the stick, but the only difference is that this is my sit bind. So watch what happens. So my guy sits and it pulls the bike right upside down. So then you can get like crazy backwards and upside down, which is super sick. Bringing it back, it kind of naturally wants to bring it back, but obviously I'm doing a bunch of movements here with the sticks. That's a feel thing to me, so it's hard to explain, but you can kind of, I'll go frame by frame so you can see how I kind of pull it back. But yeah, anyways, bikes is super forgiving when it comes to landing a bit sideways, so don't even worry about it. By the time you get this figured out, you'll be able to land sideways all day and night and not have a problem. Okay, so now we're going to take a look at oppos. Everyone's favorite, turn ups, turn downs. Um, yeah, everyone likes them. They're cool, but you know, well, see how to do them. All right, welcome back to the Big Whip Breakdown. I don't know what I'm saying, but anyways, so this is gonna be a turn up. I'm purposely doing a super gnarly one, and same with the turn down, just to show how to do them. Obviously, you want a more gradual lip, for turn ups specifically, because you want to kind of slide the back end. As you can see, I'm doing the same thing as I was doing before, which is leaning forward, preloading the front suspension, and then you can see I actually rotate the stick down and turn and sit. And what that does is that transfers all of that preload to the rear tire, and then I'm starting to slide. And as you can see, the back end's kicked loose like a bike length before it even comes off the ground. Um, Obviously this one's pretty gnarly, but uh, you can see me holding the sticks to one side to get the front end to come up, and then pushing the stick forward, rider forward, front end up. So remember that if you lean forward, the front end comes up. Same with if you sit down, the back end of the bike actually goes up to the rider. Um, so that's a little fun fact. And then you can hold that. I start leaning and turning back into it around here because you hold it as far as you want, but the game kind of starts to throw you naturally back down. But then once it starts doing that, that's when you kind of start counteracting it like here. And yeah, super sketchy landing, but still a huge whip. Um, so we'll kind of go to the next one. So this is going to be a turn down. So basically similar thing. I was leaning backwards into the jump to get a lot of load on the back, a lot of preload on the back, and then leaning forward, basically bottoming out the front forks, same thing as before, leaning a lot more this time, and sitting later. So that's a big difference between a turn up and a turn down, is the where you sit is where you pop. So this here, I sit right there, and in the turn up, I was sitting here. See the distance? So that's a big part of it too, is you sit, preload the bike, and the front end starts to come up. On the flip side, turn down. So this is where I sat with the turn up. Still not sitting. Sitting at the end. So then basically, remember what I said about the when you sit, the bike comes up to the rider. So basically what you're doing is you're pulling the back up off the lip instead of sitting down and preloading the bike off the jump. That's kind of weird, but it's a concept that it makes sense with the game's physics. As you can see for a second here too, off the takeoff, my sticks are kind of a little opposite, not too much though. And you can see pulls down, same kind of movement on the sticks. And then I sat here to kind of add more steez. It's kind of more of a habit than anything. And then yeah, I just kind of opposite the controls to bring it around and land. So that's turn up and turn down. My biggest thing I kind of want people to take away from this video is that you start the whip a lot earlier than most people do. So just kind of, even if you're doing something right now, if you're whipping and you feel like it's stalling out too early, try just doing your exact same movements, but just way earlier on the jump, and you'll see a way bigger difference. All of this is from me personally, like trial and error. So yeah, that I mean, if you try and learn it the exact same way as me, and uh, you try and have the exact same style as me, that's cool. But try things out. Try and kind of ride your own way and make your own style also. Um, yeah. So, anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Peace.